Yo. Welcome to another Highdeas movie review. Haven't done one of these in a little while. Um, I'm on the way to do a little something different, finishing up a paint situation, or whatever the case is. Regardless of that, I wanted to put my ideas out with the Batman. I recorded something last night, but I didn't put it out because, I don't know, I just didn't feel like I really got to the point of what I was trying to say. But ultimately, the Batman is almost like a early origin story. Um, and Before I go into the story, actually, let me say my overall thoughts on the movie. It was a good movie. Um, it is a refreshing take on Batman. It has this. It feels like its own type of movie, which is what I really appreciate about it. It's like there's aspects of things that's happening in the movie with the character of Batman that it's like, it's really raw. He just seems very raw, and they really, they really play with the background that he's like the greatest detective, which is a huge part that it has been missing in a lot of his most recent movies. It's more like, I mean, he does detective things, but it's not like they don't really build his character around him being the world's greatest detective, and that's his whole like shtick, his whole gimmick, right? Like he is great at detecting what police miss and stuff. So you'll see a lot of times in the Batman movie, he's like they're playing into his detective background, which I truly loved. I thought that was dope. I'm telling you, it's a really fresh take. The fight scenes are really fresh. It's not all the over dramatic fighting. It's like what you would expect to happen if you went and fought 10 people. Like he's getting punched from the back, and it's not over dramatic. It's like muffled, like punches. Like it sounds like he punching you with them gloves on. It was a really good and refreshing take on it. The only thing I would say, there's a couple of things that I would have taken out. It's a little drawn out. It's already a close to 3 hour movie, and it's a little drawn out with especially the Catwoman. This is long scene. Also, another scene I thought we failed on a little bit was the chase scene, because in the commercial they show him chase down the Penguin and chase down the Penguin. He flips the card and you see him walking towards him, which did happen. But to get to that point, I mean, damn, he was chasing the Penguin for like felt like 20 minutes. Like the way they had Batman cars souped up. Damn, gas $4 now. Sheesh. Even out here. Okay. Um, what was it? Oh yeah, the chase scene. They have his car like when you see how his car debuting it, bro. It's like sound like a monster. It's like and they got the whole damn the fire in the grill and the joint lighting up, and you be like, damn, okay, it's about to go to work. And then it takes him like 15 minutes to chase him down. It's like, what? Hold on. But let me see what else about the movie before I dive into like what it's really about. The Riddler, he did in a sense like do riddles, but it wasn't the type of riddles, you know, that I was expecting out of him. Like they were real they were riddles, but I'm just I guess maybe because of Jim Carrey being all goofy he is. But it was a good movie. Like, I liked the Riddler. He had a different style. My only issue with the Riddler at first, I need to like maybe need to see it twice with Jesus at home. Can't go see that twice a week, especially at 7:30 at night after a long day. Everyone's sleeping. But like the Riddler, his reasoning for being upset with Batman, or can I even call it him being upset? He was more like obsessed. and once you see the movie, you'll understand what I mean by that. And I apologize for me doing the handheld podcast. I had to get my message out. I'm gonna be going to town tomorrow, and who knows what can happen between today and tomorrow. So, but you'll see that, like, especially towards the end of the movie, there is a story of obsession with Batman, and but I felt like the read here, like, at first you think he has like a beef with Batman, so it's like his story wasn't. I don't know. It just didn't hold enough ground for me. I was like, it's kind of his reasoning for being upset with me was kind of lame. Like it wasn't strong enough for me for what he was doing. Um, just trying to think what else I need to say before I get into it. Alfred. I mean, Alfred had a very small role. I mean, not saying that Alfred is the most important character, but Alfred helped Batman a lot um, with coping. I mean, with dealing with, like, when he gets beat up, and just like having real being honest with him. I mean, it's not that they didn't have Alfred being honest with him. It's just the fact that Alfred was more so a, I don't know, I want to say like a punching bag for him in the movie. Like he was in one of the first scenes where they see him with Alfred. He's quick to tell Alfred, like, "You're not my dad." Like they quick to establish that, and more so use him as like a plot device for things. But I mean, it was I'm not saying I needed a lot of Alfred, but I'm just saying it's almost like you didn't even need him in the movie because they barely used him. I had questions about a couple other things. Excuse me. Just smoke some crumpets or something. Very it's hitching. But like I don't know if the little boy who parents get killed in the movie is that little boy gonna become Robin. They actually had Robin from the Titans, the new the black kid. He was in there, but he was like, I thought that maybe they would set him up to be, to do something later, but he only had like a short cameo and he was out, so he was in and out. Cool. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was an original piece. Um, it felt like its own. Robert Pattinson, he's plays the brooding character well because of the whole Twilight sad face saga. But I think he did a good job for what he was asked to do. I really like he didn't talk like this. He talked in the regular voice, maybe Batman. I love the design with his suit. Um, there's a lot of things about him in the way that they presented him that I like. I like how the people were terrified. Just when they saw the sign in the air, they just was terrified of where he may be. They think he's in the shadows. They were scared, like legit scared. Like they would, you know, he'll walk in all ominous, out the darkness, heavy footsteps, really intimidating things. So it was little things they focused on that I really like. So to get into so basically what the point of the movie is, it's basically Batman in his second year. Now, um, the Riddler had killed a mayor basically the same way 20 years almost to the day when Bruce Wayne's father was murdered. Um, and I mean, not to just, I'm not even going to, I'm not even going to, it's basically just this movie about corruption and things like, exposing the truth. But it was basically like the Riddler had taken out a mayor elect, and he was just taking out different people, um, like top high class, like DAs, and but they were all corrupt. They had basically been working for like this crime boss. You find out later Falcone, uh, but it was tied back to Bruce because his father had done something with Falcone that led to somebody being killed. And the more I love Batman, don't get me wrong, but dude, it's like get over it. I get it. You're mad. You're hurt. Your parents died. But damn, man, it's gone on long enough, Batman. Like he is just the most morose, sad person I've ever seen. And he's a billionaire. Like, yo, I don't know the last time I even seen Batman happy in the movie. I think maybe the one with Christian Bale. I don't know, but he's like sad. It's almost like his story. He's like a sad child, but a big grown man. It's really sad, you know. Like he misses out on doing more because he's so consumed with or finding the killers or about his parents. Which I get it, but it's like, yo, he's just so somber and dark. I do love that this Batman does not kill and will go to not like extreme lengths, but he will step in front of you if you're trying to kill somebody. Hey, nah, not that way. I do like that. That is how those characters are supposed to be made. Zack Snyder, not what? Who made the? Not who's the one? Sorry, not Zack Snyder. Who's the guy who made Man of Steel and had Superman kill the person in the first damn kill Zod? I couldn't believe that. I was like, did they just have Superman kill somebody? I love that this Batman stayed true to Batman. He didn't kill. If you pulled a gun out and you were supposed to be good, he's like, yo, we're not going to do it this way. I love that about Batman, keeping it real. This was more felt like the comic. Like this was a real comic booky, but of course it's drawn out because Batman stories are always about politics and it's drama and so it's a long movie, but it's a good. It's good. Like I said, some parts could have been taken out. Just a teeny bit. They had a little run too long. It's always traffic. It's always traffic. Like why can't people who crash? Because this the type of crash. This is the type of traffic where somebody crash. Come on, like hold on, like, this is ridiculous. Oh, but anyways, so I should have wrote a J for this. I spoke it before. I mean, I got some more. But anyways, regardless of the fact. But yeah, man. So he's basically the Riddler's taking all these top DA people, and they're trying like he's connecting it all to Batman. He keeps asking for the Batman, and it honestly, I swear to God, guys, do y'all know? Oh, okay, okay, nice. Whoever's in this Honda Civic. They literally, do y'all remember like the conspiracy theories that they said that they blew the levees and yo, they did it in the movie. Like they freaking did it in the movie. And then when they showed a shot of the Gotham, what's the Madison Square Garden? The Gotham Square Garden. Yo, it's shaped like the Superdome, bro. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's shaped like the Madison Square Garden too, because I've seen it once. It's like a big stone. It's very unappealing building to see. It's ugly building, but yo, they blew the levees. Is what he did. Like Batman thought that he basically solved the situation. And when the bigger plan came out, he blew the levees and he like basically flooded. He was flooding Gotham. And I'm watching this like, what? I'm like, yo, did they just show us a conspiracy thing? Like, yo, that makes me think that maybe. I mean, I already had a thought that because I met somebody from Louisiana when we was in the CDL class, and he said, man, we heard the explosions, like they blew the levees. And to see this movie have Riddler blow the levees and flood the city was freaking crazy. It was wild. But ultimately, Batman, he saves the day. And, I don't want to give too much away because it's obviously fresh as hell and people haven't seen it yet. And it's just I just want to tell you, it's a really good, it's like it feels like its own. Like it's not trying to be like Christian Bale. It's not trying to be like I was about to say John Travolta, George Clooney. It's nothing like Michael Keaton. It really feels like a comic book, like a not a gritty, but like dark, but not so dark. Because we've seen Batman just be like in a super dark place in these movies. He was dark, but he wasn't because he's still new. He's 2 years in. He hasn't met the Joker. You know what I'm saying? Like, or if he has, they haven't alluded to it. So I just wanted to say it's a good movie. Please get some rest before because I smoked a J and went at 8 o'clock. And I was yawning at about the 2 hour mark, like, ugh! You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, don't fall asleep, Art. Like, don't you fall asleep. Pay too much for the ticket. But yeah, man, I mean, just to keep it short and simple, I don't want to kill it and ruin the experience for you. But it has a lot of good twists in there. Like I said, I didn't really think at first because it's more of an obsession story. Like, I don't even think the Riddler is really his enemy until after the fact. Like, he was more so obsessed because once you hear the verbiage, he wore the mask. When he spoke to Batman, he was explaining how he thought they were similar and wore the mask because of him, and he learned through him that fear and focus, concentration, or something can get things done. And he basically turned the it was he had followers who basically was carrying out his plot. Um, it was crazy, man. It was once it got there, it became a then the story became deeper because it was like at first it was just on the surface. It's like, what is your issue? It doesn't make sense that he had an issue, but then when you watch, it's not an issue. He doesn't have an issue. He's obsessed with him. Like he looked at him and he just in his own weird maniacal way thought that what he was doing was right for his city. But they always try to now make the bad guy have like some moral compass or some Baron, like Baron, what's his name on the goddamn Avengers with the purple mask, my man. Not more though. What is his name? I'm gonna call him Baron. I might be wrong. Zemo. Sorry. Zemo. They gave Zemo like that moral compass, but he's still a greaseball at heart. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, it's a good movie. Go check it out. I'm not going to want to blow the whole thing, but it's a good movie. It has its twists. It has its turns. You're going to love the depiction. I mean, Robert Pattinson, I'm not saying I'm not a fan. I never really seen him outside of maybe one Twilight movie that I was forced to watch. And no, two, because I had to watch part one and part two. You can't just watch a one without watching the part two. But I didn't need to watch the first ones. I just watched the last three and four. Because at the time I was dating somebody, blah, blah, blah. Don't judge me. You watched it too. Um, but yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job. So y'all check that out. I'm gonna be stuck in traffic. I'm knee driving now. So I might just pull out the papers. Oh, you got a little bit in the grinder, right? Just be driving and looking up and down. So y'all be safe. I'm going to Florida tomorrow. So not to be like in your face, but y'all hope the weather's nice here in Maryland. I'm gonna find a beach. I'm gonna have my nipples out. Yes, nipples out time. Yes, for me. I wish I could bring you on, but I can't. You can drive, or you can catch a flight. And the tickets right now are pretty high, but I got mine a couple months ago. I digress. Y'all be easy. Y'all smoke weed. Peace. Watch